Good morning. Tuesday morning. Time for our live video chat. It's sort of a rainy morning here in Colorado, so I've got on my long sleeve jacket even though it is September 6th. Fall is coming upon us pretty quick. Well, have you got your coffee? This is my Posh Pooch design mug and I really love it. I've got hot coffee today. Let me set that aside. Well, today's video is another jam-packed video full of lots of information. Today we're going to talk about crochet loops, bumps. Good morning, Alexandra. Clink in. Well, today we're going to talk about crochet loops, bumps, and posts, and what in the world are they? We also have lots of new things. We started our crochet along yesterday with our Chihuahua Ragdoll. We started it yesterday. And video part 1 was out. Part 2 will be out on Thursday. And then next Monday we'll do part 3. And then next Thursday we'll do part 4. And then you'll have the rest of the month to work on it. And I hope that everyone will get involved and you'll post tons of pictures. I love to see what other people are doing with my patterns. And that pattern is such a simple pattern that you could do just about anything with it. So I have to tell you a couple of funnies. When I first started doing videos, I had a couple people say I sounded like Paula Deen. Butter, butter, butter. You know, I love Paula Deen, and I never understood why people got mad at her for using butter, when everybody knows that butter is way more healthier for you than margarine. Margarine's nasty. Don't use margarine. I always buy, if I can help it, Challenge butter. That's my thing. I'm a Challenge butter snob. Okay, so I don't think I sound like Paula Deen. Well, then someone commented, "You laugh like Betty Rubble." I guess I kind of do. I couldn't remember because it's been a long time since I watched the Flintstones. So I went online and listened to how Betty Rubble laughs, and I guess I kind of do. I didn't think I did, but she kind of does that thing. Good morning, Melissa. Clink in. Well, yesterday I had a rough morning. The boys, they all went four-wheeling up in the Colorado mountains, and I stayed home because I had so much stuff to catch up on. And so I decided I was going to run to the gym and swim. Only when I got there, I forgot my bathing suit. Well, you know, they don't let you swim naked there. You have to wear a swimsuit. So I thought, forget it. Good morning, Trish. Clink in. So I thought I'll just run to Walmart and pick up a few things. So I ran in, and I'm on my way out. And this lady's standing at like that red box movie thing, picking out a movie. And she turns around, she looks at me. Then she looks away, then she looks back at me, and she goes, "Oh, you look like a chubby Sarah Palin." And I busted out laughing. I said, "Oh, thank you, I guess." I thought that was the funniest thing. So I have a Sarah Palin impression for you today. Now, you know, she always says, "I can see Russia from my house." So I live in Colorado, and so I got my Sarah Palin glasses on. So I have an impression for you. Tell me if this sounds like her. "I can see Pikes Peak from my house." Someone told me I should be flattered because she's really pretty and she's way, way too thin. So that means I'm perfect. Sorry, I crack myself up. All right, let's get serious. I don't want to get serious. See, I do kind of sound like Betty Rubble. Anyway, let's get on. Now, I made a small video, just a really quick video with a close-up of my hands to explain about loops, bumps, and posts. So, I'm going to show you again, just in case you haven't seen that video. And when I post this video to my blog and YouTube, I'll hook that one to it also. Now, I get this question often. It says to crochet in the front or back loop, where's the front or back loop, and what's the back loop or the bottom loop or the bottom bump? Those are good questions. And what's the difference between a post and a loop or a stitch? And so I'm going to try to get the mystery out of all of that. So what I'm going to do, I've got this fat yarn. I really love this. This is the Red Heart Grande, and I made the the arm knitting cowl with this yarn. I have a little bit left, so I'm going to use that today because it's nice and fat. Okay. So I'm going to chain about 5 or 6 or 7, however many, just a bunch of chains, so that we can talk about it. And I'm going to chain with my big hook so it's nice and loose. All right, let me get that out of the way. We'll need that a little bit later. So you have a chain. Here's the front of the chain. Here's the back of the chain. Okay, I'm going to pull my hook out. Now, when you're asked to stitch, whether it's on a chain or just, your single crochet, double crochet, or whatever. Good morning, Pay. Clink from Germany. Woohoo, glad you're here. Well, whatever you're stitching on the top, you'll have a chain that looks like a braid. Whether you did a double crochet, single crochet, triple, half, or just a chain, on the top of it, you will have what looks like a braid. And the way to figure out whether you're supposed to stitch in the front loop or back loop is the loop that is closest to you is the front loop. And the loop on the top that is away from you is the back loop. And you can get really good technique making, just like with single crochet, when you want to make a nice rib, we're going to do it all in the back loop. Things like that. So it's a really good technique. And when you stitch, and you're just doing the front loop, you'll go from behind and stitch just the front loop. When you're stitching on the back loop, you're going to stitch from in front and go like this. You don't go on it's like that. You stitch from there. Anyway, the best way to remember is the front loop is the loop that is facing you, and the back loop is the loop that's facing away. So you got a brand new pattern. You're making this beautiful cowl, and it says chain 25, start stitching double crochets in the back bump or the back loop. What is that? Or not the back, the bottom. I keep saying back. I'm talking about the bottom bump or the bottom loop. Where is that on my chain? Well, if you take your chain, here's the front. We talked about the front loops and the back loops. And you take your chain and you turn it over. There's a row of bumps right down the center, and that's where you'll stitch. And it makes a really good technique because you end up stitching back here and your stitches are behind, and you get this nice braid on the edge. It works really nice for like a hat band. If you're starting a purse from the top, it makes a really nice look. And a lot of times they'll have you do that all the way up, and you'll get a real braided look through the whole project. So just to clarify, you've got 2 loops on the top. You've got a front loop and a back loop. Your front faces you, back faces away. And then on the bottom side of the chain are where you'll find bottom loops or bottom bumps. They're called by the same thing. Some designers call them the bottom loops. Some designers call them the bottom bumps. And you can see those. There's the bumps. So that takes the mystery out of what are the loops and the bumps. Well, what about posts? And that's another one that I get a lot. And I'm gonna chain double crochet a couple of stitches here real quick. So did y'all like my Sarah Palin impression? It totally cracked me up when she said that to me, I have to say. Really nice young lady. I just said, thanks, I guess, and started laughing and ran to my car. So, oh well. It's better, I guess, than being said I look like Fred or Barney Rubble. Fred Flintstone or Barney Rubble. Hey, it could be worse. All right, so I went ahead. Let me just pull this over here so you can see it. Get this out of the way. Okay, so I double crocheted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I crocheted 5 double crochets, and then this chain 3 is my first double crochet. All right. One thing to remember is if you're stitching and you're having trouble finding where your stitches are, Every row will have this braid across the top, and that will help you find where your stitches are. And again, if I were to tell you to stitch in the front or back loop, here's your front and your back loop here. And remember, front's you, back is away. All right, so now we're going to talk about what is a post. And I'm going to go ahead and chain 3 just so it doesn't come out. Set my hook down for a second. Okay, when you're asked to double crochet or triple crochet or whatever crochet on the front post or the back post, how do you do that? Well, what you do, I'm going to turn it this way. We're coming back this way across. And what you do is when you double crochet, on the front post, you're going to double crochet through there. These are your posts down here. And this is where you'll double crochet. Single crochet, triple crochet, whatever they're having you do around the front post only. For instance, you'll go through here like this. Let me make a real quick double crochet. Oops, forgot to yarn over first. All right, I'm just going to do this real quick, get that through there. Now remember, I did make a video that shows all of this. When you do that, you can see you went around the post, made a regular double crochet like that. That's what the front post would be. Now for the back post, you're going to do the exact same thing, only you're going to do it behind. So you're going to put your hook through, yarn over, and you're going to go around and pull it up and do a double crochet just like you would anywhere else. And what happens is on the front of your work, got tickle, here's your double crochet front post, and then we did the back post here, and you can see you get a little ridge. That's how you do a front post and a back post. It's a little tricky until you get used to it, but once you do a whole bunch of them, and I have a basket weave blanket, dog blanket or lap gan, and it's a really great thing to practice with because you're just doing, I think, 3 front posts, 3 back posts. But also the neat thing about it is if you did several in a row and then you turn it around, it'll be the same, only the opposite. Because this first double crochet front post that we did on the back side looks like a back post, and the back post we did looks like a front post. So really you're doing the same thing, only on the opposite sides of your work. When it tells you to stitch around a post, it's talking about the stitches post down here, not up here. When I first started crocheting, I thought they were talking about doing it up here, and I'm like, I can't get my hook through there. I don't even understand. I wasn't sure what a post was. Hi, April. Good morning. Glad you're here. Clink in. So anyway, that's what the post is. And once you realize and practice learning to stitch around the post in the front or in the back, you'll think, oh, that's really easy, because it's just a matter of putting your hook around here, or from behind your stitch is around this way. So that's front post, back post. So also, if you have any more questions, I did, like I said, I made a little, I don't know, it's like 5 minutes, not very long, video, close up of my hands doing the explaining about the front loop, the back loop, and the bottom bump or bottom loop. It's called both things. And then also on that same video, I talk about posts and how to crochet on the front and back post. And like I said, I'll hook that to this video on YouTube, and then I'll post it under this video once we put it back on, once we get it on Facebook. So anyway, that's really all there is to that. Next week I had a question, and it was one I had not expected to get, and so next week our video, someone sent me a message and they said, what's the difference between a slip knot and a slip stitch? And I hadn't really thought that would be a question that someone would ask, but it's important. And so next week I'm going to talk about slip knots and slip stitches for our live video. And what I'm trying to do is, even though we talk about it in our video, I'm also trying to make a little video that shows it up close from the top angle so that you can see it a little bit better. And I'm trying to post that with the live video just as a help, because I want our live videos to be fun and silly, but I also want them to be helpful too. All right, so what's happening this week at Posh Pooch Designs? Lots of fun stuff. Like I said, we started our crochet along yesterday. I posted the first video to do the body. Really easy. It's just double crochets and double crochet decreases. Thursday's video is going to be how to make the head, the nose, and the ears, and of course just embroidery on the face. And then next Monday, we're going to do the paws and the tail. And then the last video will be the next Thursday, and it will be how to assemble it, how to sew it together. And then you'll have the rest of the month of September to post some pictures. You can post pictures on my regular Posh Pooch Design page, or join the group and post them in the group. Now, I did post a picture about I am the only Posh Pooch Designs. And the reason I did that is I'm having a little bit of issue or trouble with people using my pictures and calling themselves Posh Pooch Designs and trying to sell product and pattern. And luckily my sister-in-law has given me some good advice, and some other people that are lawyers have given me some great advice. And you didn't know I was doing a cat. This is not a cat. This is a Chihuahua. But you can make it look like a cat. You can make it look like any animal that you want just by changing the ears. But this is actually a Chihuahua. I made the pink one and the blue one to look like my logo. So anyway, what videos and patterns are new this week? Well, I've got a couple of fun stuff coming up. Yesterday we did a video, which it'll be out tomorrow, of these. And what these are, it was by special request. It was an older pattern that I had. And basically these are Chihuahua dog or cat leg warmers. That you make around. And you can make them for any size dog. Just make sure you measure according to what the video or the pattern says. They're just little leg warmers. That one's getting ready to come out. The other thing we're doing is I'm going to make a two-part video. For one video for the square for the pumpkin. And I discovered, just messing around, some other fun things you can do with this. And then also I'm going to do a video on how to, it's actually a table runner, and how to make the table runner and attach the squares to it for harvest, Thanksgiving type stuff. That's two videos that'll be coming up. Another video that we're going to be coming up is I have a set of 3 pumpkins. That we did last year, and I had a request to do a video on this, so I will be doing this maybe next week. That's coming up. And then also for Karen Cakes, I designed a fun stair step. It's a scarf shawl, and I'm not going to show it to you just yet because it's not all approved. But that's coming up with something else that you can do with your Karen Cakes. And the color that this is okay, I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read this. I had it upside down. It's called Red Velvet. It's all shades of grays and reds. It's really, really, really pretty. You can see there's a couple of shades of red. So, but I can't show you the whole thing yet because it's not all done and ready to go. Okay, so we've got table runner, we've got a square coming. We did some dog leg warmers, pumpkins, new patterns, and then the crochet along that we started yesterday. April, I'm not sure what you're referring to. No, crochet along, crochet along. The crochet along is a Chihuahua that I designed a couple of months back, and I was going to release it by itself, and then I had so many requests to do another crochet along. I thought it would be a really good thing to do, and that's for September. And then we won't do one in November I mean October. Sorry, we won't do one in October, and because we have some fun other stuff to do. And then in November, I am planning another one, and it'll be a little bit shorter probably, and it's going to be, you know, gingerbready snowman-y, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. So, anyway, that's what's going on this week. Next week, like I said, we're going to talk about the difference between a slip knot and a slip stitch. And you know what's interesting when I get some of these questions is I didn't realize that that was something that someone would ask. And I forget that sometimes oh, you know, I don't know what happens with the comments either. When we're doing a live thing, sometimes the comments don't show up, and then when the video is put to Facebook, then all these extra comments come up. I don't know how that works, April. But yes, thank you. The ragdoll is adorable. The neat thing about the ragdoll or rag dog, I'm calling it both because it's fun, is that it's really just a basic ragdoll pattern, body, paws, you know, tail, and head. And the neat thing that is that just by changing the ears and the colors, you can make it any animal that you want. You could make it a tiger, a bear, a polar bear, you know, whatever your child's into. I mean, you can even make it look like a monkey just by putting, you know, ears down lower, or, you know, shorten the ears and make it a kitty cat. I mean, whatever you want to do. And I want you to, in the crochet along, I want you to use your creative juices. You know, scour your it's all worsted weight yarn, so just scour your yarn stash and come up with something fun and exciting. I think it'd be great to do every arm and head and ear and nose and everything, all different colors even, variegated, whatever you want to do, just have fun with it. I loved making them, to be honest with you, and when my granddaughter's here, we always play with them. We kind of throw them at each other, and she hugs them and sleeps with them. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a really simple pattern. It's double crochet, single crochet, except for the ears. I think there's 2 stitches of half double crochet just in the shaping, but for the most part, super, super easy pattern. So anyway, I just want to remind you that if you have questions, don't ever feel like your question isn't important or that it's silly or stupid. It's not. I will try my best to answer all your questions. And if I don't have an answer for you, I will try to find it for you. And because I have lots of friends in the crochet industry and world and online world that if I don't know the answer, I'll ask them. And I bet you they'll know the answer, or else I can find it for you. Because to me, there's no greater art than playing with yarn. I love to knit. I love to crochet. I love to make things and shape things. And, you know, some would say it's an addiction, but I don't mind. It's an addiction that I love. And it's a productive addiction. So anyway, the other thing that I've been trying to do is I do have paid patterns that are dog sweaters, dog hats, and blankets, and a few other things, rugs that I have on Etsy and Ravelry. And something that I've been trying to do is I've been trying from Thursday to Sunday to do a special pattern that is normally a paid pattern for $1.50. So people can try my paid patterns out, you know, at a really cheap price. So if you have one that you really want to do, because what I'm going to be doing is like, I'm going to be doing fallish stuff in towards Christmas so that things can be made for Christmas. This right now is my busiest time for Halloween costumes because they take a while to make, and I'm having so much fun. And I love it when people ask me, can you make this? And I was like, yeah, I can, because it's, you know, something fun and creative and custom made that I get to let my creative juices flow. So be looking for those. They'll be posted on my Facebook page and Google and stuff. Once a week, I'm trying to do Thursday morning through Sunday night. So it runs a Thursday morning, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday for the weekend 4-day sale. I'm trying to do that. Sometimes I do them on Fridays. It just depends. But just so you can try out some of the paid patterns for a cheap price. So anyway, that's all I've got today. So what did you think of my Sarah Palin impression? Do I look like her, just chubby? like that woman said. I have 2 pairs of glasses, and I don't wear this one as much because, see the amount of glare? I do not like glare. And I thought this pair looked a little bit more like her. The paid patterns do not have videos. I am looking into figuring out how to do videos that are what's called hidden videos that you can only get when you pay for the pattern. We're still working on that particular portion of it. And part of it is all my paid patterns are photo tutorials. So you have lots of pictures, information on how to measure. If it's a hat, your dog's head. If it's a sweater, how to measure your dog's body. Things like that that are included that are not normally included in my free patterns. So working on it, I guess, would be the best way of putting it. There's so much involved in even just making a short video, having to do with lighting and editing and music, and it's so much more than I ever anticipated. I am having fun. I am having a fun time. I purchased a new editing program that I'm just really loving, and there's so much in it. I'm learning something new almost every time I use it. But it's something that I'm hoping that will come eventually. And what happens that's kind of neat with Craftsy and Ravelry, if you buy my patterns through Craftsy and Ravelry, anytime a pattern is updated, because even though my patterns are tested, sometimes the wording can be difficult, or maybe a stitch count will be off, or I add new pictures or new designs, add new, like, I don't know, adding something new to it, which I do like to do often. For instance, my snowman hat, it has a pom-pom. I also wanted to add a way to put a headband with earmuffs, you know. And so instead of rewriting the whole pattern, I just add it to the pattern that I have. And then in Ravelry and Craftsy, when you get an update, it tells you. I wish Etsy could do that, but they don't. And so I try to get it out there, you know, and I always put it on my Facebook and Google when I do an update. And I had a situation on some of my hat patterns, I'm at my most popular ones, I'm adding sizes from teeny tiny dogs all the way up to great big large dogs. So there's a small, medium, and large. And so we got it all tested. It was all ready to go. But when I loaded it, I loaded the old PDF, and I was so mad at myself. And I got an email, this pattern does not have all these in it. I'm like, oh my goodness, where did you get it from? Luckily, she got it from Ravelry, so I could send it, you know. So then I told her, hey, I uploaded the new one, so sorry for your inconvenience and stuff. And then she got it. She's like, oh, thank you. You know, because those things happen. And I have to, but with Etsy, if it happens on Etsy, I don't know it unless they tell me. So I just went in and made sure all of them had the updated version. But it happens, you know, because I'm pretty much a one-man show. Or a one-man band. I do all the designs. I do all, except for my testers, of course. And so, anyway, did that answer your question? I don't know where my puppies are today. I think they must be out on the back balcony. When it cools off a little bit and there's just a little bit of sun, they go out on the back deck and they sunbathe. My dogs are so spoiled. Well, I need to let y'all go. I got a million things I got to get done today, and I'm so, so happy that you joined me today. And the weather's turning cool, so start thinking about what you can make with your yarns. And well, it's turning cool here. Aw, thanks, Alexandra. It has been so much fun to me that we can do these live videos, because I feel like I'm talking with friends as well. And that's why I always say, even though on Facebook, they say fans, they call it fans. I always say friends and fans, because I feel like the people that use my patterns can come to me and ask a question, you know, post pictures. Oh, thanks. I do have a lot of fun with my videos, and I have often said, I've only been doing the videos this year, and it's been new and exciting, and every time I do a new video, I learn something, and but it's kind of scary to, you know, to put yourself out there. But I always say, if you're looking for videos on YouTube like everybody else's, this is not it. I am unique and weird in a nice way. And I have so much fun doing them. So thank you all again for having coffee with me this morning. Thank you for clinking in and sharing a cup of coffee and listening to me rattle. And I hope you learned something. And I will post that video on loops, bumps, and posts. Have a wonderful Tuesday.